Hello, everyone. It's Royce here, and I want to welcome each and every one of you to my YouTube channel, The Four Horsemen. I'll introduce my co-host. There's three horsemen at the moment. Next to me is Michael Nolan, the bottom line. We just came from Michael's channel. Michael streams 5 o'clock on Sunday. Then we come over to my channel, and he also streams at 5 o'clock on Wednesday. Great channel. Very fast growing. Had a great show tonight. Everybody was really having a good time there. So below both Michael and myself is the one and only Just the Facts man, Dan. And Dan, also go check out Just the Facts man, Dan. Dan, how long have you been podcasting?
Well, I first got on YouTube back in 2006, but I've only been podcasting probably since off and on since about 2011.
Okay. Control. Okay, we got Hop Frog just joined us. Okay, Dave, I have a link up. I am Hop Frog. I have a link up for you to come on the channel. So anyway, yeah, everybody go check out Dan. Dan's his name, but the name of the channel is Just the Facts Man. He covers a wide variety of stuff, including concerts and all the relations he's had with bands he's worked with in the past. Band members he knows. We've done a couple of interviews together, pretty famous people. And you really enjoyed Just the Facts Man, Dan. Very entertaining. Michael Nolan, very, very entertaining. And we are the Four Horsemen. And I welcome all my warriors that are in the chat right now. We are reconvening a war council to put on another live podcast of classic rock and roll. We're going to have a great time tonight. And appreciate y'all. We have one more horseman joining us. Okay, we have Dave. Dave, I am Hop Frog. How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing good. Good. I recognized that I was moving some stuff around and my microphone was gone and everything, so I had to find the mic word. It's been a couple weeks.
It's been fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's good to see you here, brother. You are the fourth horseman tonight.
Thank you.
You are the fourth horseman, and we appreciate you joining us. As always, you've been here several times in the past.
Oh, yes.
And we always appreciate your knowledge. And you're aware that we're talking about iron butterfly tonight. Yes.
Wow,
okay, I have that too. Michael Boswell just came in with he gifted 5 memberships. Wow.
Yeah,
Awesome, Michael.
That's huge. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michael.
Yeah, thank you so much. Let's see. How come he left the screen? I want to keep him back up while I make a note of this.
Let's get out of the way.
Now, you guys got to get it. We can't send these out to anybody in particular. So if it shoots out on your stream, grab this.
That's right. Yeah. YouTube picks people that are watching. So if it pops up that you're being offered a membership, it's not costing you anything. Michael Boswell's bought you a membership himself. And as I was saying right before the show started, we're going to get a little bit more into the thematic thing that we've started here with the Four Horsemen. And you can see that we all have names. And Michael Boswell, once again, thank you so very much. And let's see. Okay. We all have names. We all have a colored horse. I'm the Resurrection. Michael Nolan's War Horse.
I'm War Horse. I forgot to put that in my ID.
No worries.
I'm the dumb horse. I'm the one with all the intelligence, Royce.
That's right.
Has anybody seen my mama?
and I'm the Resurrection. I had a choice between death and something else. I chose Resurrection. Okay, so it's good to see everybody in the chat. Hi, Natalie, John Rouse, Caitlin Stoddard. Hey, Novice Nick is here. How you doing, Novice Nick? Hello,
good to see you, Nick.
Hello, 5 horses, he says.
And Natalie sent you a $2 super thanks.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm not, Royce. I wouldn't lie about a thing like that.
Okay, Natalie, thank you so much. No, I know you wouldn't. I'm just there's just a lot of it going on tonight.
It's just when I get up here, I can relax, man. When you're doing the whole damn show by yourself,
Yeah.
It's like you got to be so damn spot on. It's like getting over here. It's like, oh yeah, I got room to stretch a little bit, you know?
No, Michael, I can totally relate to what you're saying.
Yep.
So, okay, so Dave, you are the fourth horseman tonight, and we are limiting this to 4. That way,
And I do want to say this, Dave. It's good to have you on the panel, man. You always bring so much to the panel. I appreciate you being here tonight.
Yeah, and that's me too, Dave. I really appreciate that. Yeah, you've always been a great co-host when you come on. So anyway, let's just get right into this. We're going to be talking about Iron Butterfly. Now, I don't know how many of you guys are fans of Iron Butterfly, but this goes back to about '68 for me. I was in my youth, a medium-aged teenager, and I heard this band, for the first time and absolutely fell in love with it. And I've been a fan of Iron Butterfly as long as I've been a fan of, Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin. And, they predated both of those bands a little bit and actually influenced both of those bands. And we will be talking about that. I've got some notes taken on all of that. So we got Dr. Rick, we got Douglas Gilbert, Caitlin. Okay, folks, so we're gonna move on now. We're going to talk about the one and only iconic trend-setting as we're going to see Iron Butterfly. Okay, so the band formed in 1966 in San Diego. The original members were, this is the classic lineup. You have to understand, this band was active from 66 to 2021. They had some pauses. They reformed a couple of times. And there was, I read a list of something like 60 people that at one time or another were in the band. 60 people. Okay.
Yeah.
Royce, you've got a $2 super thanks.
Yes.
Split Ladenboom.
Yeah, my brother.
I like that name.
We like to call him Gear Jam.
Gear Jam.
Gear Jam.
Lord,
I
that's Marshall Gear Jam now. Well, he was shooting down the trolls right and left on my show.
Right. Okay, so they were active from 66 to 21, and there's a list of 60 people that at one time or another rotated in and out of the band. But what I want to talk about now is what I call the classic lineup, the original lineup, the constant for so many years. Okay, and the original lineup was Doug Ingle, organ and vocals, wrote most of the songs. Ron Bushby on drums, Les Dorman on bass and vocals, and Eric Braun guitar and vocals. In addition, there was many, as I mentioned already, 60 members that came in and out at different times. There was never more than I don't think I ever saw more than 6 at once, mostly 5, oftentimes 4. So they never had 10 or 15 guys at once, okay? So Doug Ingle, the founder, just passed away May 24th of this year. And
last year, wasn't it?
Last year.
24th.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Thank you, guys. And his birthday is coming up in 2 days. And I just want to say happy birthday. Happy birthday to Doug Ingle, the founder and probably the biggest contributor to this band, this iconic Iron Butterfly band. Just amazing. Okay, so let's go on to, of course, their biggest hit, In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, the 17-minute title track of Iron Butterfly's second album of the same name, became a top 30 hit, but it was edited down to 2 minutes and 52 seconds in the United States. How crazy is that? Now, it didn't take long for FM radio to get a hold of it. They wanted to start doing, whole sides of albums and things like that. It didn't take long to get that out there. Okay, my In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida album, which I wasn't intending to show at the moment, has the 17-minute and 2 seconds, but my greatest hits album has a 19-minute version of In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida on it, guys. So
what's the difference besides the time? I mean, what do you get?
There's so much repeat in the 17-minute version. It's just kind of more of the same. So their 68 hit In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida made a profound and lasting impact on rock music by fusing psychedelic and hard rock, paving the way for the development of heavy metal, progressive rock, and other heavy genres. Though the band's, through the band's heyday was very short, their signature sound influenced numerous iconic modern artists. And I mean, yeah, there's a whole list of people that speak about being influenced by them. So let's open this to the panel for a while here. Michael, were you a fan of Iron Butterfly?
Oh yeah, got the album, played it mostly for In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, but was really into it when it came out. I mean, it was so different. Everybody loved the song.
Yeah, everybody loved the song. That's right.
Oh God, you go to a sock hop. Remember those? There was there. All right, chillin'. Time to listen to Grandpappy here. Way back in the day, we had these things called sock hops.
Sock hops, yes.
Yeah, and they'd be playing freaking In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida at a sock hop. It was absolutely amazing.
That's exactly right.
And you know what? You were saying Doug Ingle and his influence on the band. I mean, it's really his band. They could have fielded this band with a lot of people. In fact, they did eventually. But I mean, this does not cut down the original members who put this album together. But two of them weren't even on the first album. So these these guys, matter of fact, Eric Braun, Braun, he's also called Braun with a U in some spellings. He was the kid, and they lost a couple of members because he was having trouble keeping up with them and getting their stuff down for the show. They brought them on, so there was a trouble getting out their first album. So it was through the trouble happening in the first album that they fielded the so-called classic lineup, which is my favorite and only concerning lineup. I never cared for them as an oldies act or anything like that. But back in the day, I was definitely a fan.
Yes, and I was too. They were a great band, and talk about trendsetters. How about you, Dan? Were you a fan of Iron Butterfly?
Well, I was more of a fan of In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, even though I did hear, I do have that album, and I've listened to it. But, to me, In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida was their hallmark song. I mean, that was it.
Right.
And like you said, there was actually two lineups. You had the original founders, but when In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida came out in '68, the lineup was totally different, with the exception of Doug Ingle. He was the only one. Good. He was the only one from the first album. From the first.
Oh, wasn't Bushy with him on the first album too? Ron Bushy. So. Oh, maybe I have it wrong. Yeah. Because I thought that.
Yeah, Ron Bushy was on the drums. This was Jack Piney. Was the drummer.
Piney was down there. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, his name being mentioned. Yeah.
Yeah,
and I'm the type of person too. I always like finding out how did they come up with their name. How do bands come up with their names? Sometimes it's really obscure.
Yeah, but, that's right.
Their original name was the Palace Pages. I don't know how that came about, but now there's two stories on how they came up with their name. The first story is they wanted something that was heavy, which is ironically was the name of their first album. So the heavy was the iron part, and they wanted something that was beautiful, which is a butterfly. So they came up with Iron Butterfly. So, but the second story that I've heard about how they came up with Iron Butterfly was they went to the original lineup. The founders went to, while they're still under the Palace Pages name, they went to do a show. I think it was in Hollywood, and the band that was supposed to show up before them was named Iron Butterfly, but the band broke up before they got to the gig. So Iron Butterfly said, "We like that name," so they stole the name from the band that didn't show up.
Nice.
And either way, it doesn't matter. A lot of the critics at the time said that they were a blend of heavy music and the beautiful aspects of an acid trip.
Oh, okay.
So either way, the critics certainly translated it like what you were saying, Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also found it odd too, you know, that out of all the members you talked about, well, you said 60, but out of the original, the founders and the original classic lineup, you know, what name? I was Doug Engel. He survived all of them. You know,
that's right.
And you know, Iron Butterfly is still touring to this day, but it's more like a tribute band. And I looked at
that's right. Yeah,
you know,
You
because
think?
but I looked at, they're going to be doing a cruise. They got one thing going on 2026, some type of a cruise that they'll be performing on. And I watched some of their videos. They are pretty good, but they aren't Iron Butterfly. I mean, but name only. But
No, it's they're like the Guess Who version of the Guess Who. You know, the last Guess Who version of the Guess Who.
Right.
You know, before they took back their name. But yeah, that and I have no trouble with that. I just wish they weren't touring under the original name. That it was like, I don't know, Iron Butterfly's Revenge or something. You know, because
I think the industry's kind of going through a change right now because all the old rockers are passing.
Oh, God. Well, there's not a single member of this classic lineup that's alive. Doug Engel died in 2024. Ron Bushy died in 2021 at 79 years old. Lee Dorman died in 2012 at 70. And Eric Braun, who was the kid of the group, died at 52 years old. He died really young in 2003. So they're all gone.
Well, Danny Weiss is still alive. He's one of the founders. He was a guitar player. He was the founder. He's still alive.
Was he with one of the original incarnations then?
Yes, he was in the first album.
No,
first album. Oh, all right.
Okay, he left. He left before In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida.
Yeah, he quit after the first album because he did like the touring and all that. But
are they touring under his license then? That sounds familiar if that's true.
I'm not sure. But
that sounds like a Guess Who deal. You know, he was in the original albums, so he now has ownership of the name, and he fields whatever band he wants. That wouldn't be cool, but I don't know.
Because he spent so little time only with the first album, and he was out after that.
Yeah,
but it's pretty cool what he's doing now, though. If you got a band going, and you go, you know, we need a guitar player, you could email that guy, email Danny Weiss, and say, look, here's a rough copy of our song.
Okay.
Put a guitar part in it, and you pay him for it, and he'll do it.
Oh, damn! I like that. Yeah, it sounds cool.
He does it all digitally now, so he's still active.
Oh man!
Wow. Yeah, I was notified by Oberheim a few minutes back that there was a troll in the chat.
Yeah, there's been trolls all night. You know, because
I scrolled up a little ways. I couldn't, determine. Saw a couple of names I wasn't real familiar with, so I don't know. But
when we say trolls, it's one clown, and we all know who it is. You're not going to get mentioned tonight, little boy. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Right.
Go play with the junior table.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't want your shit here.
That's right.
Hasta la pasta, mama.
Okay, so Dave, channel I Am Hop Frog. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. I'm glad to be here. Glad to see everybody. Yeah, I came to the Iron Butterfly game a little late. I was born in '67, but I had an aunt who had great taste in music, and she lived with us for a while. She's 6 years older than me, so it was like having a big sister. Drake's Iron Butterfly, all the good stuff. At the time, I was listening to all the new wave stuff, Devo and all the Blondie and all the stuff that was popular at the time. And then I heard her playing some stuff. I go, "What is this?" She goes, "Oh, this is Janis Joplin. This is Jimi Hendrix." It blew my mind as a kid. I was like 8 years old.
Yeah, that would have, yeah.
And just open up a door for all kinds of stuff. And I found this a couple of years ago. It's actually in stereo on the Atco label. Looks pretty old. It's got the ringware, but the record is in really great shape.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, that is.
Wow.
After I got this one, I found Heavy, the first one. I always thought this was the first one. I found this. Somebody told me the second.
Oh, you've got Heavy. I want that. I don't have that one. I have Ball.
I meant to before getting on the show. I wanted to listen to Heavy, and I didn't get time.
Yeah.
How are the two out? Because most people, those are the two albums
All in
they'd be
Heaven, right.
interested in.
Right.
And of course, the In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida is gonna take,
Yeah.
Yeah.
just that one song, Dave. Just that one song by itself is worth, and it's a 17-minute plus song. So it's a good portion of the album. You got to put that in as one of rock's classic rock's greatest tracks, man.
Funny story about the song. My boss, he knows what kind of music I'm listening to almost everything he was playing, and he's telling me about it. And I go, oh yeah, I know who they are and stuff. And then he was playing. He goes, this is the long version he had on CD. I go, and I know it's an organ being played through some type of overdrive, probably a fuzz pedal at the time. And I go, I said I had a guitar like that once, but I fixed it. It sound like that. You get a little hot under the collar. I go, nah, man, I'm just messing with you. But I mean, like it's been said, it just kind of opened the door to me to some of the newer stuff. This is High Flyer, Eternal Elysium. They're
no kidding.
Psych kind of band. I just pulled out a couple examples. We've got Sonic Youth, Daydream Nation. Shoegaze, just kind of branched off from that. And then you have the modern doom metal kind of throwback to a little bit psychedelic, but more kind of doom, leaning into Black Sabbath a little bit more. Bands like Acid King, who I really love, but you can tell the influence by the artwork there, and Sleep is another one. So,
wow,
great stuff. I mean, I could have brought like a whole stack, but that's pretty much the majority of like the genres that I listen to. So,
wow, nice, nice,
very nice. Okay, so let's. So the title, In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, was supposed to be In the Garden of Eden. Okay, but drummer Ron Bushy wrote it down as In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida because he couldn't understand what vocalist Doug Ingle was singing. Their record company was okay with the title because it sounds, exotic and Eastern. Spirituality was big at the time, with the Beatles going to India, the Rolling Stones experimenting with Indian instruments. So, as for
it was perfectly released, 1968, a mere year after Sgt. Pepper. But with power. I mean, the power of Led Zeppelin or Black Sabbath. I mean, it had that kind of power and drive a full year before either band would show up on the scene.
That's exactly right. So,
that was the reason why these guys were invited to Woodstock.
Oh yeah. That's a whole nother story right there. Right.
Right.
So In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida was often cited. Well, first of all, the meaning of the song is just a guy affirming his love for his special girl. But In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida often cited as one of the first heavy metal songs. Its use of distorted guitar riffs, thunderous drums, hypnotic organ-driven psychedelia created a heavier, more dramatic sound that actually helped lay the groundwork for hard rock and heavy metal in the 70s. And it really did too. The song's 17-minute side-long format with extended solos and hypnotic repetition. You asked me what was the difference between the 19-minute song version, Michael, but like I said, there was already a lot of hypnotic repetition going on in the 17-minute version. It was a quintessential example of the era's psychedelic and acid rock explorations. It became an anthem for late 60s culture and a staple of the new FM radio. It was a little bit like in, as this was just mentioned earlier, a little bit like Stairway was later, because it was a big song and it was just.
They say you don't truly understand In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida unless you listen to it while under the influence of. That's what I've heard. That's only what I've heard.
No,
okay. I'm not guilty.
I heard the same thing, Michael. I heard
it. Yeah, I heard it very truly said. No, seriously, you hear that in another realm under those conditions, brother. It becomes becomes an epic. It's like the story of Troy or something.
It's like a Mona Lisa or something.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Iron Butterfly pushed the boundaries of traditional song structures. This experimentation influenced the development of progressive rock bands that embraced long instrumental heavy tracks. The band helped popularize the use of the Hammond organ, okay, in rock music. Vocalist and organist Doug Ingles' powerful layered playing was central to their heavy sound and would later become a staple of many hard rock acts,
I
including.
wonder how much he influenced John Lord at that time, or vice versa, because they both had very distinctive
Well,
keyboard sounds.
he did. I think I might have a little bit on that too. Okay,
Oh, good.
Including Deep Purple, a staple of many hard rock acts, including Deep Purple. In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida was a massive commercial success, becoming the first album to be certified platinum by the RIAA. This demonstrated that heavy album-oriented rock could find a large mainstream audience, setting a precedent for future heavy bands. Okay, so Iron Butterfly's fusion of heavy, distorted, instrumental, and trippy experimentation left a blueprint that inspired many later bands and musicians. Okay, and we'll get into those many later bands in a bit. Let's get our panel back active here. Okay, so yeah, they really were trend-setting game changers. You know, I mean, like acid rock, heavy distortion, psychedelia. I mean, they were combining stuff that was pretty damn new at the time. I mean, it's not like we didn't see some of it, like you said, Sergeant Pepper's and things like that. But there wasn't a whole lot of it out there.
You know, people talk about, you know, who started heavy metal. You know, it's a debate. Was it Black Sabbath? Was it Led Zeppelin? But you got to throw Iron Butterfly in there too. I mean, even their verbiage.
Yeah.
The first album is called Heavy.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Right. I agree completely. You're the man. So anyway, yeah, that's what I always thought. You know, there's that sound was so unique for all the reasons we were just talking about. It really grabbed me. I mean, not just that sound just grabbed me. It was like it was almost, I felt like it was something that I'd been looking for and hadn't found yet. You know, when I started hearing that music, and I was always a fan. I always had their music, and plus it played on the FM radio all the time too. So it was a big thing. It was a real big thing, and I enjoyed growing up with it. I've always had some Iron Butterfly in my music collection, and I've got, what do I have here? I have, well, one of the albums I have a duplicate of. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have five Iron Butterfly albums. One of them's a live album. But yeah, I listened to all but the live album today. I just kind of ran out of time. But for a quick catch up before the show. So
now,
anyway,
do you have the Scorching Beauty album?
No, I don't. No.
See, that was in '75, and what I could find, they only really had 4 albums that I could find. They had the Heavy album, In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida album, Metamorphosis, and a live album in '78.
Yeah, I have Metamorphosis.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have Heavy. I do have Ball ×2, Metamorphosis, and In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida. I'm pretty sure there were 6 studio albums.
That's right. I forgot about Ball.
Yeah. That was a real popular one too. Okay, so let's talk about who claims that they were influenced by them. Okay, so first of all, Black Sabbath, the band's heavy riffs, dark, dramatic tone directly influenced the doom and heavy metal that Black Sabbath pioneered. Now, I'm talking about Iron Maiden's, heavy riffs, dark, dramatic tone influenced Black Sabbath. In fact, Ozzy Osbourne appreciated their blend of hard rock and experimental sounds and recognized their impact on the development of progressive rock music. Now, Led Zeppelin's Jimmy Page had a lot to say about this too. He reportedly considered Iron Butterfly's massive influence on Led Zeppelin's later sound. Page acknowledged that Iron Butterfly's innovative sound and heavy use of distortion Okay, he also noted their contribution to the development of psychedelic rock and recognized their impact on the music scene during the late 60s. Page mentioned that Iron Butterfly helped pave the way for future rock bands. Okay. Okay, so Deep Purple had something to say about Iron Butterfly. Like Iron Butterfly, this group prominently featured a powerful keyboard-driven sound that you mentioned earlier, Michael. So
Mhm.
they had some similarities there. Alice Cooper said about Iron Butterfly, their psychedelic approach had a direct impact on his work. Okay.
You
Russian.
know, I just looked up the album by Deep Purple that was released the same year,
Okay.
the Book of Taliesin, and or Tall Lies Sin. I like the way they spell that. I'm not familiar with the album. I'm a big fan of Deep Purple, but I never actually went back that deep.
That
But
part.
I
Yeah.
just looked at some of the information, and this album, the same year that In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida was released, was known to break some of these records or these sounds on
Okay.
keyboards and things. So I'm kind
Nice.
of glad that they weren't responsible for, because John Lord is such a hero of mine.
No,
Um,
I know
he
he is. Yeah.
he is my favorite keyboard player of rock and roll, bar none. There's nobody that can touch him. Only a keyboardist that good could possibly keep up with Richie Blackmore, uh, who is on the level of
That's a good
Clapton,
point. Yeah.
Beck, Page,
Right. Right.
Jimi
Right.
Hendrix. All right,
Right.
Jeff Beck. I mean, that's how good Richie Blackmore is.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And so I'm kind of glad that evidently Deep Purple was well onto this sound. However, even if that's true, certainly with the power, because Deep Purple's album didn't sell real well, and this album went
Yeah.
platinum, platinum.
Yeah.
So,
That's right.
if anything, uh, if they didn't quite influence Deep Purple, they certainly strengthened Deep Purple's hand going into their very next album, which was Deep Purple, which was a much improved sound and everything. So
Right.
it almost, the success of this album, of this band, like I said, they were supposed to be at freaking Woodstock, and Royce will want to talk about that later. But
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
band was so big and so innovative. Think of what came out afterwards. And probably
Right.
only Deep Purple was quite on their wavelength at this point. And even
Right.
Deep
Right.
Purple was not tuned in yet.
That's
These
exactly
guys
right.
were. These guys were.
That's right. Huh.
Yeah.
My favorite singer is Ronnie. It helps with. Okay. Yeah. I guess. Yeah. Thank you, TET. It's good to see you here, brother. We appreciate you joining. I got Johnny L right here. I don't
How
know
you
if
doing,
that's
Johnny?
heavy metal. I think it was more like hard rock, in my opinion. Yeah, I think a lot. Hey, Joseph Blue. I think a lot of us feel that way, Johnny. Although they are credited as, you know, they get credited with a lot of things. They were just that good, you know. Okay, so let's we're gonna have a look here. Um, okay, so it wasn't just bands that came immediately after them that they influenced. They did influence Rush and Mountain also, and other early heavy acts were influenced by their sound as well. But later in modern heavy rock, Soundgarden, the Seattle band, was one of several grunge acts that carried forward from Iron Butterfly's heavy psychedelic legacy. Okay, Rush, another one, Stone Temple Pilots, Iron Butterfly blended hard rock with acid-friendly textures. Oh man, acid! Don't you're going to give me a flashback? You keep talking about acid-friendly textures, pushing the boundaries of psychedelic rock with
What's a flashback, Daddy?
something that shouldn't be there. Psychedelic rock with experimental open-handed jams, along with contemporaries like Steppenwolf and Vanilla Fudge. Iron Butterfly was an early American heavy rock band that influenced the 80s metal scene. Okay. Stoner and doom metal, the dark, heavy atmosphere of In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida has been noted as an influence on stoner and doom metal bands.
You know what? John Patterson was talking with Johnny here, and he was saying Led Zeppelin was the original heavy metal, as was Black Sabbath and Deep Purple. What came in the 80s was a cosmetic version of the 70s sound. Now, we've talked about how, yeah, but even back in the day, we didn't call them heavy metal. They were just heavy rock. You know, Black Sabbath was more dark. Right. Led Zeppelin was more light, and Deep Purple was all over the place, baby. And that's the way we looked at it. But, you know, there was a lot of that cosmetic feel, John Patterson. It was John, right?
Yeah,
John Patterson. I felt in the 80s, and that's what kept me away from the hair bands, man. That was exactly, it was all, and I was a working musician at that point, and everybody was now a hair band guy. Guys were getting their fucking hair permed and everything, and I hated it. I absolutely hated it. So I gravitated toward groups like the Police and even a lot of the alternative stuff out of the UK at that time, rather than turn my head to the LA hair bear bands. I spit on them. Spit on them.
Well, that's what happened.
Well,
try doing a perm.
It's okay to get tongue-tied. I've been tongue-tied a few times tonight. I hate to admit this in light of what I've just heard, but I actually permed my hair once. And if I had I'm gonna bring a picture of that.
Oh goddamn! I got to see this, man. I got to see this.
Oh, it'll blow your mind.
I never did something like that.
Yeah, no, I went from long hair to.
Damn that Lindsey Buckingham anyway.
I went from very long hair to needing a higher paying job. And then somewhere along the line, I was self-employed and I permed my freaking hair.
God.
It was a short-lived thing, but it's kind of hilarious. I will show it. Okay. So
I cut my hair.
Never let you live it down, guys.
I know.
I cut my hair. I cut my hair for a job one time. That was it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I cut my hair many times for jobs, Dan. I hated it. But if I didn't have to, my hair looks just from the time I was 15 till now, it looks pretty much the way it is, unless I had a job. Family comes over hair, but other than that, man.
No, Michael, that's the whole thing. Like I had a job, a grocery store, a brand new grocery store opened in Henderson, Nevada, where I grew up, and I was 18 years old, and I wanted to get a job and save money and move to California, which I did before I turned 19. But got my $400 and I was gone, baby. $90 a month rent. Shoot, I could pay that drawing unemployment from Henderson, Nevada. So anyway, so I went to get a job at this grocery store that had just opened, and it was union. It was the grocery clerk union. So anyway, I bought a short hair wig and tucked all my hair up into it, and they hired me. And it was kind of crazy when some of the people I knew I'd turn around, they'd be staring at me like they knew me, and all of a sudden, especially some of the girls, they'd finally realize it was me, and they'd all start laughing.
Then he took his hair out under his cap and said, "Ha, me working for you." No, okay, I've heard that before.
Okay, so like Michael keeps bringing up, Iron Butterfly was booked to play at Woodstock in August of '69, but got stuck at New York City's LaGuardia Airport. They explained their situation to the concert promoters, and the concert promoters asked for some patience. Their manager, however, sent a telegram demanding that Iron Butterfly be flown in by helicopter, whereupon they would immediately do their set, get paid, and get out of there and fly back to the airport in the helicopter. According to drummer Bushy, they went down to the Port Authority 3 times and waited for the helicopter, but it never showed up, so they never got to play there. I thought that was
that's an idea. That's an example of management taking the fact that these guys were so big at that point, there was no demand they couldn't make.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
Oh yeah, no, that's the thing. But Woodstock was a different animal. You had to find your own way in and out.
Yep. Something tells me whoever sent that telegram probably wasn't working for the band in the next year. But
Right.
that'd be interesting to find out, if there was ever any pushback for that.
Right. No, it would be, yeah. So yeah, we got a very healthy chat here tonight. There's no telling how many pages behind I am, and it's
No,
impossible to catch up.
you're doing good.
You can't. Yeah, I got pretty close to the bottom. Okay, so Iron Butterfly was scheduled to play and they couldn't. Okay, so Iron Butterfly, this got touched on earlier. They had 6 studio albums, 5 live albums, 4 compilations, 1 box set, 3 LPs, and 10 singles. Former guitarist Larry Rhino Reinhardt died on January 2nd, 2012, at the age of 63 due to cirrhosis of the liver. Bassist Lee Dorman, who had a history of heart trouble, died December 2012 at the age of 70. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And I'm going to go ahead and we'll just have a more casual conversation now. Not worried too much.
I'd like to mention something about Danny Weiss, the original guitar player, one of the founders of Iron Butterfly.
Okay.
He was actually in the Rascals for a little while too.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm not sure exactly how long he was there, but he was there for a short while. And of course, he continued playing the guitar, and he ended up being in the movie The Rose with Bette Midler. And he did. And he won a gold and a platinum gold record for his work in The Rose, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that movie. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he played. I'm not sure if he was actually in the movie, but he did. They said he did a lot of the music in the movie. So.
Yeah, well, Dr. Insomnia just made an interesting comment. If they had made it to Woodstock, they might have gotten bigger instead of fading away. I think that's an excellent point. I mean, that would have been some good timing right there.
Well, it makes you think too, since what they did at Woodstock or didn't do at Woodstock.
Yeah.
Maybe they did put themselves on a little bit of blacklist. I mean, they didn't go to that concert out in California with the Stones, and that was it Michael Lang in charge of that one too?
He had a lot to do with it. He got his hands mixed into it. They brought him in to solve all the problems that the venue would have, and he made the same mistakes.
Yeah.
So,
he made the same mistakes. Hey, folks, I got to say one thing. I've got a comment up right now from Novice Nick. He says we only need 8 more likes to hit our first goal, friends. If you guys will hit that like button, if we can just hit that milestone of 50, the algorithm will start looking for more audiences for the show after the show's done tonight. And it really helps the show growth. You can really see a difference when you hit the 50 and don't hit the 50 in your views for that week, So do me a proper, hit that thumbs up button, and let's push it up to 50 if we can. And also, if there's anybody watching right now or maybe watching later, not during the live, please consider subscribing to the channel. It's the 4 Horsemen. We're having a lot of fun. We've rebranded it. It used to be Royce in the House. Now it's the 4 Horsemen. You guys are all warriors. All you people are warriors. And we're gonna develop tiers for the membership. Each tier will have a name, like overlords, nobles, that kind of thing. Still haven't finally decided on the final thing yet. So we're having a lot of fun with that whole aspect of the 4 Horsemen, with our names and the rest of it. So let me see. Thank you, Novice Nick, for bringing that up. And as you
know what, Royce, in the comments, we have Angela, the whole conversation going on as Black Sabbath. She brings up a good point, and I wanted to read Chris Elliott, who's up here as our 4th Horseman sometimes. His response to her, since he's out there. Let's make him part of the show. Angela says Black Sabbath were not a Christian band, not what I consider a true Christian band, but some of the songs may be taken that way.
Oh, yeah.
And then Chris Elliott responded to her Where are you, Chris? Here it is. Some Sabbath's lyrics make the argument for Christian songs. However, songs like Snowblind and Sweetleaf counter the argument. Very succinctly said, Chris. Very
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Excellent example, Angela, to examine very closely is Master of Reality album. There you have a conglomeration of Christian thought processes and everything. I mean, some outright Christian songs.
Yeah.
And the counter to that argument, including
Right.
Sweetleaf, right?
Right.
So that's what I would suggest. Black Sabbath never claimed to be a Christian band. So, no, Angela is right. In that genre of Christian bands, I never got into that myself. Even though I consider myself to be a Christian, I just never got into Christian rock and stuff, Jesus freaks and all that kind of stuff, ick, and all of that stuff. You know, so, but I just never been into it because usually the members of the bands, or quite often, aren't what they pretend to be anyway. There's a huge history on that. We should do a whole, well, maybe not. This is a hot potato. But to me, whether you believe in Christianity or not, or Christian ethics as being of sound advice or whatever, listen to Black Sabbath. And they're not the evil, horrible band that people put them out to be.
No,
they
they're
were
really
four,
not.
they were four blokes from a very piss poor part of town who lucked the freak out and somehow as a conglomeration became bigger than any one individual in the band. Ozzy Osbourne, I've been singing his praises so much. Royce has turned me into an Ozzy Osbourne fan, and for all the glory I can throw on him, he's not one of rock and roll's best vocalists. Sorry, I got news for you. All right, Tony Iommi is a premier guitarist and riffmaster incarnate, but he is not Jimi Hendrix or Jimmy Page or Jeff Beck. He's not that. He is great, but he's not quite that. And Geezer Butler, wonderful bass player. I don't know if he'd even be in my top 20. And Bill Ward, a deceptively wonderful drummer, would go high on my list. But none of them were like at the tip top. Bill Ward isn't the greatest drummer to ever exist, no matter how good you think he is. And yet somehow this band stood toe to toe with Led Zeppelin and Deep Purple, with Jimmy Page and Ricky Blackmore at the helm, and other fantastic people. We could spend the rest of the night talking about Black Sabbath. Yeah, you know, I have often said this. Ozzy Osbourne is the enigma. How the hell did that ever happen? That guy was Mr. Luck incarnate, and you know what?
Absolutely.
He ran out of luck. He pushed the envelope, and it finally got him. But what a wonderful, perfect ending to his story. You know,
Black Sabbath was a perfect recipe. You know,
God, that somehow you'd never, a chemist wouldn't have guessed that, right, Dan?
Yeah.
They never would have. They would have gone, oh, yes, I'll make the perfect rock band by adding this and that. They wouldn't go, I'll take 2 dabs of Ozzy.
Yeah.
Right? I just can't even imagine. And yet somehow Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath are in my top 10 bands of all time. And even on my channel with tens of thousands of votes, I might add, tens of thousands of votes, voted Black Sabbath as the number 7 band of classic rock of all time. Number 7.
Right.
And that's against the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple, The Police, Creedence Clearwater Revival, a whole bunch of them, you know.
Well, you know, sorry. Michael, sometimes it just works. You don't have to have the best guitar player, the best drummer. Everybody doesn't have to be the best, but the band just works. And Black Sabbath has always worked for me. I told you when I saw Black Sabbath the first time, I was 18 years old, and I was probably had been partaking on some things. I had never experienced anything so heavy in my whole life. It was like I was walking through water, you know, and the sound, I mean, you could feel the sound. You didn't just hear the sound. It was like it became a part of you.
Yeah.
And it was just, it was almost, honest to God, almost too much for me to handle that particular night. But I mean, it was just absolutely amazing. And I loved that band before I saw them, and I've loved them ever since. And, you know, Ozzy picked up and moved on, you know, and that was too bad. I never got into, and I know a lot of people did, but I never got into Black Sabbath post Ozzy. I loved Black Sabbath when Ozzy was in them. I know they made a lot of good stuff after he left, but it was just never the same for me. Ozzy
Me
Osbourne
neither.
was the voice of Black Sabbath, and no one else could replace that.
Yeah. I did.
And I agree. I agree.
You know,
I was just going to say, I think everybody knows that both Royce and I didn't, you know, follow Sabbath after. But I did want to say, for those of you who did and are Dio fans, you know, more power to you, man. His voice was great. I just couldn't make the leap, and that may be because of my own inability to make the leap. You know, because there are a ton of fans out there that would say, no, Sabbath reigned long after Ozzy, right? So sorry, Dan. I had started a sentence and it was in my head.
Well, I did like Heaven and Hell album with Dio. That
a
was
lot
a
of
good
people
album.
do. Yeah,
you know, but that was about it after Ozzy.
Yeah.
Right.
What about you, Dave? Did you follow them after Ozzy?
No, like Dan said, Heaven Hell I thought was a great album, and everything else after that just it kind of put a bad taste in my mouth. I like Dio solo, and I like Dio when he's in Rainbow, but Black Sabbath, the chemistry was just his voice is great. Ronnie's voice is wonderful, but the chemistry was kind of off.
It's just it's just not the same no matter what. Yeah.
What are the chances of getting 4 people on the same panel that kind of came to the same conclusion? Because I know as we're talking up here, there are just as many people watching right this second that are going, you know, idiots, you know, Dio and Sabbath rule. Right. You know, there's tons of people that loved them. They still sold.
That's exactly right. That's I've got Heaven and Hell. And I got to be honest with you, some of you guys say I'm crazy, but I thought I knew which were Ozzy only Sabbath albums when I ordered it, and when I got it, it was a surprise. I didn't realize I was ordering one with Dio in it, and I listened to it, and I'll probably never listen to it again. It just wasn't. It just didn't.
I've done that a ton of times with a lot of bands that I would follow over the years, and all of a sudden, oh, their next album didn't even look, and grabbed it and got it home, and I go, 3/4 of them are gone, Mildred. You know, what do you do with that?
Honestly, guys, I would not have known if I wasn't sitting there with the album cover in my hand and had just taken the vinyl out that I was listening to Black Sabbath. I would have not have known.
Yeah, exactly.
And you feel the same way, Dave?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah. So anyway, that's kind of tough. But you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and show some albums, the ones that I have of Iron Butterfly. So I'll go ahead and you know, make myself a little bigger while I'm doing it, just so we can see them. Okay. So here is the live album. All right. And of course, it's got all their hits on it, including In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, big surprise. But okay.
No.
Yeah.
Not even In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida.
no, even In-A-Gadda.
Hey, Royce. Royce, let me
Yeah.
ask you, on that first album that you just showed, the live album.
Okay.
Does it have a song called Possession on there?
Okay. I knew someone was going to ask that. I got to pull the album out. It doesn't fit in the cover anymore. Okay, so it has In the Time of Our Lives. I've always liked that song. There's different versions of it. Some I like better than others. Filled with Fear, Soul Experience, You Can't Win, Are You Happy? Then the whole other side is In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida. Okay. So
No.
I just wonder because on their first album, Heavy, there were 2 singles on there that made it big. It was Possession and Conscious Power, I believe it's called.
Well, after the stream, I'm going to listen to their first album, Dan, and I'll look up Possession. Thanks.
Okay, so I've got 2 copies of Ball, and I always like this album. It's got, once again, The Time of Our Lives, Soul Experience, Lonely Boy, Filled with Fear, Beldebeest, okay, Must Be Love, Her Favorite Style, Real Fright, In the Crowd. You know how some songs and some albums, you can kind of tell when you're listening to the album what song it is. It's a little harder with Iron Butterfly. And like I said, In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida. But you know what? Some of these are some pretty cool gatefolds. I need to open at least one of these up. This one's got a very thin cover that opens from the front, you know, and you get this great picture of the band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look how young Eric is in there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
17 freaking years old when he joined the band. He was a baby.
Teenagers.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, Doug was 22 when they recorded our In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the other one that I have, let's see, In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida. Okay, no, that's not a gatefold there. Okay, let's see. I think, yeah, Metamorphosis is a great gatefold. It's kind of all backwards too. You would think that this was the front, you know, on Metamorphosis. But actually,
I love that cover. Turn that around again.
Okay,
Let me see that. I love that kind of art. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dig it.
Yeah. Metamorphosis. This is a good album. I listened to this today again. But normally it would open the opposite way, and this would be the front cover. So anyway,
Which is cool too. I like that
which is cool too. And it's got, of course, a gatefold. I always like the gatefolds. They give you a little something more with the pictures and stuff, you know.
Hey Royce, you got a new member that just joined.
Oh, I do.
The Vinyl Dreamscape.
Oh, the Vinyl Dreamscape. Right on. All right. Let's see. Let me go down and scroll down.
Well, the Vinyl Dreamscape obviously is a scholar and a gentleman or gentlewoman, depending on
all of that and more. He's a true warrior, and that's what we want. You know, we are
in need of other horsemen to back us up.
Yes, we really are. Okay, so we have a new member. Hey, Vinyl Dreamscape. I've seen you in the chat quite a bit tonight. Some great comments out there. It's kind of hard to keep up with the chat when you're.
Good evening, Michael Boswell. He just sent a membership memo to you saying that he's saying, take care all, enjoy the evening. Michael, thanks for supporting both streams tonight, brother. Couldn't do it without folks like you, Dr. Rick, all these wonderful people.
Yeah.
James Watson, Al, Val. You know, good Lord, look at these people, Royce.
Yeah. No, I know.
My goodness gracious.
Vinyl Dreamscape, I just want to thank you once again. Welcome aboard. And we are going to be, before long, naming the tiers for our membership. In the top tier, it sounds like it's going to wind up being, you're going to be overlords. If you're in the top tier, you're an overlord.
Oh, my goodness.
Below that, it could be a noble or a knight. I'm still working on that part of it, okay? Try to just bring a little bit more fun into the show. So thank you very much, Vinyl Dreamscape. And here we have Michael Boswell is now a member for 3 months. Thanks, Michael. That is awesome. Yeah. Okay.
Usually when these come up, that means he has been a member for the last 3 months, and they're using their membership tier to send a special message, from what I understand, Royce.
That makes sense, Michael. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what's happening, because I get these every once in a while on mine. Like Melissa just did the same thing. She's been a member of yours for 10 months, and she said, laugh out loud, I paid my past dues as well.
You know, something I noticed tonight on both streams tonight, and I've seen people in the comments section say the same thing. During the chat, YouTube is now putting up big full page ads in the chat.
I understand that. Yeah, I've watched several of them. Yeah, I've seen several of them come. See, I monitor your show while being on your show on Kimberly's iPad, which is haunted, by the way. And 3 times tonight, ads have come up and just blocked out the comments. I mean, you can X them out immediately.
Yeah.
Like one just did. Cowboy hood, Japanese art outfit men. So it just came up, but you click the X and there they are again. So
yeah, good night, Michael Boswell. Thank you so much. Got
sorry
Dwayne,
you folks have to put up with that, but that's one way that the channel gets supported. YouTube does this, and of course, if you guys click on any of that, then Royce will get a small portion of whatever those ads have to offer, folks.
Oh,
or if you just watch,
I read something about that.
yeah, or if you click over and you go through whatever routine they're, advertising, then Royce will get a portion of that. So it's just part of the programming. YouTube is the new TV, and we are a local channel.
Well,
right?
You know
And
what? It's just
that's
about
the way
all
it
I
is.
have on TV.
Yeah, and we appreciate all you kind folks that support the channel despite all those annoyances and commercials and things like that. But it helps Royce, be able to continue doing his channel.
Oh,
he needs help
Yeah.
continuing to do that. So it's awesome.
Melissa, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, awesome. That is amazing.
I've paid more than a due or two, Melissa.
Yeah. I mean, there's hope yet, Michael.
We all pay our dues in the end, brother. It doesn't matter, Some folks are lucky to get away with shenanigans for years and years and years. I've never been that lucky. Usually my shenanigans comes to roost real quick, to the verge of destroying my life, I might add. You know? So to all you survivors out there, a big salute, man.
Yeah. Once again, Melissa, thank you. I really appreciate it. And good to see you back. I know you kind of.
I saw her over on. Wasn't she on James's?
Yes, I saw you. Yeah, I didn't say.
I thought she was up there.
Yeah, she was there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was good to see her.
Pretty tight with James over there.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen her on the panel a few times and things like that. Joseph Blue, what do we got going, Joseph Blue? I listen to cable TV
Joseph.
Music Choice. I listen to their classic rock channel. They actually play the long version of In-A-Gadda. No kidding, Joseph. Thanks for letting me know. Is that
on any rock station past 8 o'clock at night, even 7? They'll play the whole damn side when they do play it. I mean, they're not going to play the. I guess some of the more popular, classic rock stations, they even play Michael Jackson tunes right next to them and stuff like that.
Right,
but the real good heavy rock FM stations, if they play In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, you're getting the long version for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
That's all I've ever heard.
Right. Caitlin, sorry for being quiet. Yeah, what's the issue? That's not like you, Kate. You feeling okay?
Back in the day when they had real DJs, the DJs loved the long tracks.
Oh, yeah.
They get up, have a cup of coffee, go to the bathroom, and
right.
Get lucky.
Right.
I watched FM. Oh Lord.
Yeah, I think, man, these guys are having fun with the waffles Caitlin's cooking.
It's actually her.
Dr. Insomnia said waffles take precedence over everything else.
I love waffles.
Something I haven't tried is waffles and chicken. Is that the thing now?
No, I never heard.
Yeah, I've seen that in restaurants. That's not something I'd mix, but I've seen that offered. Yeah.
I haven't seen the chicken. I mean, I think I've seen bacon and stuff like that, but mixed in and bacon.
I'll take a good waffle over a pancake any day, man.
Yeah.
The waffles in question is actually a dog that belongs to Caitlin.
Is it? Okay.
I think he's getting nervous when we say we want to eat waffles right now.
but I still like waffles, Dave. He goes, Dave's not here.
Dave's not here. People chasing the poor dog around with a bottle.
Okay, well, Horseman, any like closing comments before we sign off?
Yeah, I'll say this in a nutshell. Whether you like the total output of, it's been years since I've really listened to them, and I meant to kind of do some
Yeah.
research this week, but Royce, my channel and everything
Oh,
too.
you're so
But
busy, Michael. I know.
I am going to spend some time listening to the discography. But I will say this: with that lack of knowledge, the track. Half of the freaking album In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida is worth the purchase of the
Yeah.
album.
Yeah.
It's a must-have. The song, the track, the recording,
Yes.
in all its glorious flaws. By the way, the original, they've got the keyboards annoyingly at 45 degrees to your right, and the guitar 45 degrees, 180 degrees. They got them panned hard right, hard left for a lot of it. And despite that, and I listened to it real closely in headphones, it still comes off powerful. And what is unnerving at the beginning, if you're a newbie to this song, will actually silence down in your heart as you continue to listen to it. Give it a full 60 seconds, then you're into the mix. What a wonderful, flawed masterpiece. That's what I got to say about it.
Yeah.
And a great band at their height.
Right. Right.
Now,
Yeah,
what I'd like to offer is go out there on YouTube and check out the current Iron Butterfly. I watched a couple of live videos of them today, and they're actually pretty good. They're really good. I don't know the history of these guys, so I don't even know who the members are. But
you've got my interest peaked, Dan. So I'm going to be doing some research into the new Iron Butterfly. I can guarantee you. Yeah. Yeah, and if they're great, I'll say they're great. I mean, I just want to know, why are they the Iron Butterfly when everybody we know as the Iron Butterfly is dead? I mean, for these recordings, for this center of time, this is truly, under those conditions, a truly dead classic rock band. And that's kind of sad. I don't think that was brought up when Doug passed away enough. That this is the end. This is not like Foreigner with one guy. This is there is no one guy left. So what do you do with that? And that's last year was the passing of an important passage of rock history at the very least. But I do want to do more research into what Dan's bringing up.
I think too. When you're using a band's name that no longer exists. And people call them tribute bands, but if you're under the same authorization to use that name, they need to have a disclaimer or something. A disclaimer saying we are not the original, but we still using the name with authorization.
Well, that was brought up a lot, Dan, especially with the Guess Who and a couple of other bands. And guess what? Every time they got a chance to do exactly what you suggested, they refused to do it. And then when Randy Bachman and who am I? The lead singer, flute player, keyboardist for the Guess Who. I'm just not thinking. Who?
Burton Cummings? No.
Burton Cummings. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Sued them and got their songs back and the ability, and he did it in just as cutthroat a way as they stole the name. I mean, he absolutely put his own money on the line to fight that. Those guys could have done a disclaimer. I did video after video after video for years saying exactly that. They didn't want to do it. They were offered that opportunity. And what did they do? They got on Spotify and they started plastering their faces all over the Guess Who's music, like they were the Guess Who, So that's why I'm twice bitten, twice shy when you say there's an Iron Butterfly out there,
well, of course. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Can't blame you one bit. I mean,
but there should, at the very least, Dan is absolutely correct. There should, at the very least, be a disclaimer that might not salve antagonistic people like me, but at least it would be something. I still would find that absolutely disturbing, but at least I would have to admit, okay, you gotta bring your your magnifying glass and read the fine print. Oh, we aren't really Iron Butterfly or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
But
right.
at least it would be something. It's a step in the right direction. But all these so-called tribute bands that are laying claim to the original name, they are reticent to do that. And you got to ask yourself why.
But so, you know, speaking of tribute bands, a lot of times, most tribute bands too, they'll use their name, the new name for the tribute band, has something to do with an album or a reference to the original band. I saw one the other day. I love these guys. I've only seen them a couple of times on YouTube. It's a Black Sabbath tribute band, and they've been around for several years, called Crazy Babies. The guy looks just like Ozzy, I swear.
That's cool.
No kidding.
Wow,
that's crazy.
They're out of Detroit, Michigan. So if you get a chance, check out Crazy Babies.
And isn't the Pink Floyd one called Brit Floyd or something like that?
Brit Floyd. I saw them just a month or so ago.
Yeah, and they're supposed. Yeah. And I'd love to go see bands like this. I mean, God, you could probably see them for $50 and listen to that music the way you remember it and everything. I'm not against tribute bands. I'm against tribute bands who claim they are the band.
Yes,
you know, there's a time to lay things to rest. You know, it's time to lay Iron Butterfly, the entity, to rest. And if you want to continue the enjoyment and the celebration of their music through a tribute band, then name it properly, and I'm all there with you. You know,
if I was in the Iron Butterfly tribute band, I think I would name it In the Garden of Eden.
Yeah, there you
That's
go.
A good idea.
That's actually the ultimate name. Come to think of it.
Yeah, right. Have you guys heard of Zepparilla?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've heard it.
They're coming to town here pretty soon again. Excuse me, guys. It's hard for me to spend $60 on a tribute band. It's an all-female band. You know, I've seen little clips and stuff, and they sound good. I mean, I'm sure it'd be fun. And you know what, folks? I hate to say it, but at some point, to hear any of our music that we grew up with live, we're going to be watching tribute bands. It's either that, or we're going to be playing it on our record players. Or go ahead, Mike. I
was going to say a commercial just came up since you said you got your hair permed. A commercial just came up. I swear to God, hair relaxer lawsuit.
Now, how come I don't
it was from a law firm. You might want to check them out, Royce.
Well, you know what? Why am I not seeing these commercials? Because I don't remember ever checking a box wanting them to come on my show.
No, this is kind of new. It's happening over on my channel too as well. And I haven't really brought it up, but I have noticed it in the past. It's been happening on your channel for the last couple of weeks. You know, it's just like some people get a number one. They have this, you know, they keep tabs, and usually has to do with how much they've given the channel and how many comments they've made. And then it always shows number one, number two, number three. These are things out of our control, folks. These are not things that we have decided to implement on our channel. Yes. But I let it go. I think I could turn it off, but I like to have fun with the thing.
Right. I have noticed too, when you do get those points in the chat, if you leave the stream and come back, you reset to 0 again. You don't.
Right.
As long as you stay in the stream, you can keep adding those numbers higher and higher and getting higher.
Right.
Huh.
Right. I've noticed that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you get a loyalty rating that can't be knocked off. And that's why a lot of times you'll have like 3 number ones, but they're named as number 1, number 2, number 3. Yeah. But they're actually tied in points. But it's who showed up first at that point. Yeah. And one of them leaves and comes back. They're at number 3. And the other 2 bump up. It's just shenanigans, but it's kind of fun to watch. You know, I don't.
Have you guys seen the comment? Have you guys seen the comment that's up on the stage right now? It's called Black Sabbath. And Backstage Recordings is saying that they're a great band also.
Well, actually, in December, I'm going to see Zach Sabbath with Zach.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. You mentioned that. Yeah, that would be good.
Wow.
That would be good.
There's Matt.
Something tells me Black Sabbath is another female.
It sounds like it. It sounds like it.
But I think because of the bottlenecking that I've preached against, that's happened in the music industry, that I think we're going to see tribute bands become bigger.
Yeah.
Okay. Than they've ever been.
I think so. I think so.
Yeah.
You know, something I've noticed here in Dallas.
There's nobody to replace them. Sorry, Dan. Go ahead.
There's like 3 levels of venues here in Dallas. If you're a local garage band or just a local band, you play the small clubs. Now, if you're a really good tribute band, you get in this medium-sized venue that can hold several thousand people. Of course, if you're a national act, if you get a national act, well, you're in the stadiums and the big arenas, you know.
Yeah, right.
And the tribute band, I've known a lot of guys in tribute bands, and the reason a lot of them are going towards tribute band because you don't have to build up an audience. They're coming just because I want to hear that music. And you almost automatically have a fan base when you start a tribute band.
You know, that's a really good point. That's a really good point. Yeah. Okay,
well, if you think about it, the original Broadway show, Beatlemania, was nothing more than that.
Yeah.
All right. And look where that went with the Beatles. We knew at that point, for the most part, the Beatles were dead and gone. John was still alive, so there was always hope. But when Beatlemania first came out, it was the ultimate tribute band at the time. So there's always been a want for that kind of thing. The Beatles were so big, it went to Broadway, right? But for these other bands like Foreigner and everything else, I'll even suggest that you'll get a band that'll do 3 sets. They'll come out as Led Zeppelin, set 1, Pink Floyd, set 2, and the Beatles in set 3, for God's sake. The first band to do that, get ready, well, it will sell.
I've seen I've seen a couple of Beatles tribute bands, and they were both good.
I've seen some great Beatles tribute bands.
Yeah. I love James Watson's comment. Make me a Savage.
I knew Royce, that was coming.
Well, you know, Royce and I, when we were on another podcast 5-6 years ago, the guy that played Paul McCartney in Beatlemania was a regular on the podcast all the time, Mitch Weitzman.
Okay. Yeah, that's right, huh? That's kind of crazy. There was a lot of interesting people there. You know, you had Ed Stasium, who let's see, he managed the Ramones and a whole bunch of other bands too, not just them. He played in bands himself, but he never got real big. Became more of a producer.
Frank Zappa's Vaultmeister, Joe.
Oh yeah, what's his name?
Joe.
Joe. Oh God, I can't. They called him the Vault Master. He was the drummer for Frank Zappa, and he was in charge of all the recordings that they had in the vault. Yeah. Joe, I don't know why I can't think of his last name. This is crazy.
But he's a funny guy.
Yeah. Joe Travers. Yeah. Sooner or later, when I get stuck, I'm just not happy until I come up with it.
You know, I almost got to meet Zakk Wylde the other night at the Pantera show.
Oh, did you?
You know,
that would have been cool.
You know, because I went to the after show and all that. You know, but Zakk was a no-show. You know, but I got to hang out with Rex for a while.
Okay, cool. How was that Pantera show?
Oh, it was great. Well, I'll tell you one thing that's really cool about it now, because it's just the same type of thing. A lot of people say it's not Pantera, which it's half Pantera.
Yeah.
But, you know, the people, because I knew a lot of people that were at the show, and I noticed that they all had their kids there. So the Pantera music has now been taken out to the next generation. People that were diehard fans are bringing their kids now. And the kids,
that's interesting.
The kids are loving it. It's some heavy stuff, but it's nicest. It was the nicest, friendliest audience that you'd ever see in a heavy metal show. I mean, it's just a good time. Everybody's happy, and the kids are loving it. You know, so
right.
You know what? On my show, I didn't have time because I was running up. If I had gotten into this, that's why I ran a little short tonight. To cover this part would have pulled me over, and I would have had trouble coming up here. Is that Aerosmith, or at least Steven Tyler and Joe Perry, along with Nuno Betancourt, and the other guy that I'm not familiar with. Anyway, they're going to be on MTV, the Music Awards, and do an entire set to honor Ozzy. I don't know if that includes Black Sabbath and Ozzy or just Ozzy stuff yet, but that is happening. I wanted to connect that with the Black Sabbath thing, but I had to get on to what was going on with the police.
Gotcha.
But that's coming up. And after Steven Tyler's vocal extravaganza at Back to the Beginning, I consider that the best performance. A whole lot of love. The whole performance was great, but a whole lot of love.
Yeah.
That, oh my God, that was the moment of that show.
Well,
he stole it. He took it away, you know, and wow, I can't wait to see this.
I
MTV actually doing something cool.
Yeah, I felt that, Michael, and said as much, on the show before.
Yeah,
because we covered that in one show too.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
he did a fantastic job.
I was shocked. I was shocked. He played on I think it was a Stones song, Hackney Diamonds, and he was just able to play the harmonica. He couldn't sing.
Right. And this is a whole set they're talking about now. So he did a mini set there, a whole set. Whoa, we'll see what a whole set is for MTV.
Yeah,
but
I hope he kind of babies
then with the
himself
talk of an Aerosmith final show, you kind of wonder if this is going to be like an Aerosmith group of shows. Will we see them at the Sphere out in Las Vegas or something like? All of this stuff. Because this guy broke his voice. He broke his larynx. He broke it. He could never come back ever.
Right.
And he gave that performance.
Yeah,
that performance. My God,
just mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. So
he wasn't even supposed to be available. Who the hell knew he was going to show up? You know. And then when you see him, you go, "Oh boy." That was my first thought. Royce was, "Oh boy."
Right.
And then he just absolutely astounded me. And I go, at first, he's just being Steven. You go, yeah, he always looks the rock god. Even as old as he is, he looks pretty freaking good.
He just got his hair all cut. He just got his hair all cut off, Michael.
Did he?
I read that just today. Yeah.
No.
What an idiot.
That is not true.
It's not true.
No, it was another AI fake.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha, Royce. See? AI is evil, people. I keep telling you that. I did a whole stream on it, and that is one of my worst performing streams. People aren't that fucking interested in this, and they should be. It's taking over your freaking life.
Yeah.
But you do a stream on it, and AI, and it's like, just try and pull the viewers out of the ether, because people were asleep. Damn it. We are asleep, and this thing is going to creep into our lives way beyond classic rock. Way beyond. We're in trouble, folks.
Let me ask Dwayne Wolotica. He said he saw Hart 5 times. Jason Bonham was with them. That had to have been at the Kennedy Center when they did Stairway to Heaven. I thought Jason Bonham was down there playing with Hart.
Was he with them that night? I didn't recall.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
Is that the night they honored Led Zeppelin and Robert Plant and Jimmy Page in the audience, right?
Yeah, I remember it.
Okay, yeah.
I just don't. I saw it when it came out. And Jason, it was great.
Yeah, Jason played the drums that night, and he was wearing one of those bowler hats that his dad used to wear. And then then the choir comes out, and they're all wearing the same type of bowler hat too.
That was a nice tribute. Yeah. I have a question for Michael real quick before we go. Did you get the 12-inch single? I think it's a half-speed 45 master of the song "I Was Made for Grifting You" by Kiss. It's clear vinyl and has shredded dollar bills in it.
No,
man. Never even.
I'm just messing with him. You like it not as much as I do, so.
I thought you were, and then I thought, oh, wait a minute, he's being serious. No,
hey Michael, I've never seen Greta Van Fleet or listened to a whole album of theirs or own an album, but Al Val is saying Greta Van Fleet is another Zepp tribute band. And last time this got discussed, which I think was one of the last shows, you weren't agreeing with that they were a tribute band.
No, a tribute band does Led Zeppelin songs. If they were a Led Zeppelin tribute band, then they'd be doing Led Zeppelin songs. And if you've heard them do a Led Zeppelin song, that doesn't make them be a tribute band. They write their own stuff. Now, Al may be also talking about the fact that, especially on their first EP, that I considered to be, what was that, After the Fires? It's an EP, but it's a half hour long. So to me, there were albums in the 60s that were less, right?
Yeah,
so to me, that's an album, but they're kind of pushing that back because now Greta Van Fleet's trying to change their style a little more each album. They're trying to evolve. I'm not sure I like where they're going, but that first album, I think what Al might be talking about is you almost get a Led Zeppelin riff, but it's not. And then you almost get a Led Zeppelin song, but it's not.
But
and I can,
right.
if that's what your criticism of the album is, then okay, I can hear that. But I still love the shit out of that album, man. And I think that album right there is an absolute masterpiece. I can't say the same thing for their other, they've got 3 other albums out now. But there's moments of brilliance. I haven't totally given up on them, but man, they need to get back to the garden. Talking about it, the Garden of Eden. They need to get back to that first thing, take off where Led Zeppelin took off from, embrace it, and then kick our asses with it. Somebody's going to do it.
Yeah.
You know,
look at Chris Barlow here. He goes, "Yep. If you can bring Plant to tears, you're doing well." And that was the Kennedy Center with Hart doing Stairway, because Jimmy Page was sitting there just beaming and having a good time with it. And Robert Plant looked like he could bust out crying at any second.
Yep.
Did you see that interview where the interviewer asked Robert Plant about Greta Van Fleet and talk about how the singer's voice is very similar to Robert Plant? Robert Plant was like this. He just had a big smile and he goes, "Yeah, it's something about there's something familiar about that guy."
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny. Hey, Royce and Hop Frog type guy. Bill K, how are you, brother?
Hey, Bill.
And Hop Frog type guy. Well, Hop Frog is our 4th horseman tonight. We kind of that seat kind of rotates around. We've had a lot of people that have come on the show, but we decided when we rebranded to limit it to 4 at a time on the show. And so we have the 3 permanents, me, Michael, and Dan. And we thought for a while, at least, we'd leave the 1 seat open, and it could wind up being a 4th, horseman that's permanent. But right now, we're just kind of letting all the guys that used to like to come on the show kind of rotate in and out,
And we do want you back, though, Dave. Seriously.
I've been super busy lately.
That's not to push the other guys out. That's you're always welcome here, brother. Chris Elliott, anytime. I mean, he's out there supporting this show right now. So is Nick. Anybody that supports the show who has been up here, good Lord, you guys are monsters. And can't wait to share some screen time with you,
Exactly. Well, anyway, I just want to throw it out there one more time. I have no idea where my thumbs up are at. We're looking for 50 to get the show kicked into kind of another realm with the algorithm searching for.
It's not showing the amount on your channel. I noticed that with another one of your videos. It just I've given you a thumbs up, but it just there's no number on it. Yeah,
that's kind of weird. But anyway, if there's anybody out there, whether you're watching now live or you're watching 2 hours from now or tomorrow, just hit that like button. It really actually helps the show. It helps growth and gets us more exposure. Usually more subscribers, come along with that. So do that. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. That doesn't cost you anything. And the notification bell will give you a one-time notice warning that a new show is coming on, so you can come join us again. So appreciate it. There's Dawson Walters.
Hey, Dawson.
Robert Johnson was God's tribute band. Robert Johnson was God. We're talking about the crossroads here now. Yeah.
And usually, that usually aligns with the deal with the devil, doesn't it?
Yeah, right.
Well, the
Yeah.
four horsemen can take that shit on any day.
Yeah, and again, appreciate everybody, understanding my rebranding to the Four Horsemen.
Yeah.
I think it's a good name. It's memorable. It invokes all those things that rock invoke, power, strength, and we're really enjoying doing this. And the show will be, a little bit of. It's still going to be our rock and roll, classic rock, metal, um, and doesn't have to even be classic rock, but rock and roll. But anyway, we're still going to be the music channel and bring you the stories that you don't always see and never maybe. We dig deep. We find the stories that a lot of people haven't seen or heard about yet, and bring them to you, and for you to enjoy, because it's fun finding these facts that have been buried for a long time. So I spend a lot of time digging for facts, digging for things that aren't commonly known, so I can share them with the audience. And you just look at my playlist. You'll see what my topics are like. We're all over rock and roll, classic rock, heavy metal. We're not super strong on the heavy metal. What's funny is if you go to heavy, if you Google heavy metal, and you think you're going to see all the bands that you're going to see that there's an infinite amount of heavy metal genres.
It's
Oh, yeah.
And each one's got its own, death metal, this metal, that metal. Each one's got its own number one band, and there's a lot of them I haven't even heard of because I don't listen to all those genres. I like Black Sabbath heavy metal. I like Metallica heavy metal. I like a lot of heavy metal, but I don't like a lot of those little subgenres of heavy metal. They just don't really. It's just not my style, But anyway,
It's a quandary, Royce, that's happened within heavy metal. I think the fact that it's branched out shows its growth, and yet at the same time, the branches are so dispersed. Unless you are an absolute metal head,
that's right.
you're probably not going to be as knowledgeable. And I'm not. I'm not a metal head, although I love
Right.
some good heavy metal.
I love some good heavy metal. Me too.
But I
I'm
also
not
like
Yeah,
While
I'm
My
not-
Guitar Gently Weeps by George Harrison, the version that has all the orchestra. Okay, so I have a wide palette, and a
Yeah,
lot of
right.
metalheads have a more centralized palette for that, and their branches are those many branches. And I think it's also a weakness with heavy metal right now. I think that's why there's a resistance from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Don't get me started. Not acknowledging heavy metal time and progressive rock time and time and time again. And part of it is for progressive rock, it's just too highbrow for those idiots to understand. And for the many branches of heavy metal, where do they grab? They don't even know where to grab. Oh, Metallica. Everybody, there's the safe grab. And it is a safe grab. I love Metallica.
Right. No.
So
and I want to tell Jeff Davidson, he asked me if I rebranded, and we absolutely did. We are now the Four Horsemen. We are the Four Horsemen. Oh my God, what's going on there? And I just want to say that yes, we have rebranded. We're the Four Horsemen, and we're playing that thing. But I want everybody to know one thing.
Tony.
Don't think just because we're something heavy, maybe a little dark, called the Four Horsemen, that we're not going to still do so much pop music that we love. I mean, I love Eric Burden and the Animals. I love the Beatles. This week I almost did the Monkees, to be honest with you. I thought, is that really a fit for them? But yes,
Caitlin would have been over the moon.
I want this to be a big tent, okay? A big tent. So it's not going to be just, heavy metal and, the heaviest of the heavy stuff. We will cover some of that, but it's not going to be just that. We'll cover everything, popular music, power pop, rock and roll. We'll cover it all. So anyway, guys, I want to thank everybody for joining us once again. Hey, Dawson Walters again. I want to thank everybody for joining us. One more time, I'll say, if you haven't hit the like button, go ahead and smash that damn like button. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and smash that damn subscribe button. There should be one on the screen for you. Anyway, we appreciate you being here. The channel's growing. We want to keep it growing, and we want to keep bringing you shows that you can enjoy and want to look forward to and come and join us on. Anybody know what happened to Michael?
He waved goodbye. I think it sounds.
Okay. So we're gonna sign off now anyway, guys. Hi, Angela. Got Al Val. We got James Watson, 4 horsemen and 1 cat. Dawson Walters, Al Val, British Invasion Show. I have that planned, Al. I have a British Invasion Show planned, and it won't be too far off either. Chris Elliott. In fact, I was just reviewing all my the albums and stuff that I have for British Invasion bands, and I realized I didn't have any Kinks who were rated really, really high in about the top 5. And I almost bought a Kinks album today. I was out looking for stuff. But anyway, we're working on that. I do want to do that. I have a Dave Clark 5. I've got, of course, Beatles going all the way back to the Hamburg, Germany residency, and I want to do a show on that as well. How that all went down. Role Little Richard played and things like that. So, okay. So, guys, thanks so much for joining the 4 Horsemen. You are all warriors. We appreciate you being here. Please come back next week. Keep an eye out for some pre-recorded. I put a pre-recorded on this week. That was kind of fun. It had to do with Roger Waters' comments on Ozzy and Black Sabbath. That part wasn't fun. So anyway, there's Michael. My mic quit on me. Thanks for showing up, folks. Love you all. Okay, Michael, thank you. All right, so Royce here, and we are going to sign out now. And that's what's happening in Royce's world tonight. Thank you all so much for being here. And please come back. Good night, everybody.
Good night.